the final rounds of qualifiers come around for the European circuit. He has played some magnificent stuff in the Premier League this year. He hasn't gotten his just rewards, but such is the Premier League. It is a brutal school. But the European Tour can be pretty brutal itself. Just ask Kim Huybrechts. And Dalibor Šmolík is taking his first steps onto it. From the Czech Republic, 43 years old, a product manager. He has not got a huge CV. In fact, if you look at his PDC stuff, he's played 4 challenge tours one weekend. And on one of the days, he won 75 quid. That's the best he's done. However, Dalibor did go and reach the quarterfinals of the Budapest Masters in the WDF last year and won 30,000 Hungarian forints. That's 70 quid. He not only sounds, but also looks a bit like a character from Game of Thrones, but how good will he be against Hollywood? Rob Malarkey's alongside me to find out.
Well, so unaccustomed he is to the European Tour, I think he actually forgot to shake the hands of the officials on stage. It was only when he saw Dobey doing exactly that he realised he'd not done so, and he went to make belated amends. So here we go. Dobey against Šmolík. Hollywood against Smollywood, as some would call it.
Who?
Me.
Right.
And maybe somebody else.
They'll all be doing it tomorrow, don't worry about that.
It's warm, I can tell you. That fan will certainly come into good use later as well when Dimitri van den Berg takes his place on the stage. But yeah, you're right, Dobey has acquitted himself well on the European Tour this year. Sorry, on the Premier League Tour this year in his debut campaign. He had a win last night against the aforementioned Dimitri van den Berg. That was his 7th match win of the Premier League season as Šmolík rattles in a Sun 80 to get himself into position after 9 darts. Encouraging signs. Lost to Johnny Clayton in the semi-finals last night. But yeah, he's 6th in the table. Won't go any higher than that. Šmolík looking at 136.
Well, he's methodical, but he looks pretty reliable, Šmolík.
60.
It's a decent opening leg to leave himself on 76 after 4 visits to the ball.
Dalibor, you require 76.
Well, some might have had this one down as a potential 6-0 scoreline, but Šmolík will have other ideas. And clearly has other ideas as he takes the opening leg. Nicely played.
15 darter for Dalibor Šmolík to go into the lead in his first ever Euro Tour match.
I had a quick word with Chris earlier, and as well as being absolutely delighted that Bruno Guimaraes has signed a new 5-year deal at Newcastle, Chris did admit he was a little bit tired after his exploits last night and then the subsequent journey over here from Manchester.
99.
But seemed to be in fine fettle nevertheless. But yeah, in terms of his European Tour standing, you're right, he could do with something big this weekend. He's on 14,000 at the moment, just inside that top 32. We said earlier, suggested that 17, 18 might be enough. Now, 2,500 guaranteed if he gets through this one, but then the small matter of Josh Rock in round 2 if he does. Josh Rock, of course, a finalist on the European Tour a couple of weeks ago in Austria.
96.
Šmolík has had 3 weeks or so to get ready for this one. He qualified from the Eastern European qualifier in Budapest on the 15th of April for his European Tour debut. And this is a massive payday for him.
100.
Comparatively speaking.
Well, it certainly beats the 70-odd quids he's been picking up. 12.50 for a first-round appearance. Good leg of darts from Dobey to leave himself on tops after 4 visits, but 10.40 here keeps Šmolík interested in this leg. I think it does have to be 2 trebles, and there's one of them. And there's another.
It's a very smooth, methodical action, that, isn't it? Very steady, but so too is that from Dobey, who hits back with a 13-darter, one apiece. And on we go. Just to give you an illustration of the sort of players that Šmolík overcame in qualifying, Vítězslav Sedlak, who we saw recently as well, was one of the players he beat. 5-1 actually, that one. Benjamin Platnejmer, the Slovenian, who's played at the World Champs.
And won.
And won at Ali Pali, well, yeah. 5-2 against the Slovenian. And Peter Sturbik of Hungary in the final. Again, winning 5-1. Didn't drop many legs over the course of that campaign.
Well, I have to say, from the leg and a half I've seen from him so far, I'm very, very impressed.
135. 100.
Yeah, that young spectator keeping those earphones on ahead of what will be a very noisy and raucous reception for Dimitri van den Bergh, if the one that greeted Hybrex is anything to go by. I went out into the arena for that just to see what it was like, and they really took the tiles off the roof. Šmolík in position again on throw, 1-3-1. Ton 30 clear, minus these.
55.
And it's only 55, so 6 darts for Šmolík from here. I'm sticking with it, Dan.
Yeah, you really are. I admire your perseverance.
Well, I say sticking with, that's twice I've mentioned it now.
Well, he'd take 99 from here. He certainly would, because he can't get 99. But
he'll take 81 now.
41.
Still should get the first dart for the leg, but it may only be one of the bullseye. And here comes Dobey.
Yeah, this is where Šmolík would like to bring Daryl Gurney in on loan for one shot, one visit. The way he was rattling off 18s earlier.
What's the route?
Well, it's not the 18s, it's the 20s. And he's got one shot at the bullseye for a 2-1 lead.
65. Crucial requires 72.
Dobey to hit the front in this one. Okay, 65 left, 15 and bull. He could gamble and go for the 25. Yeah. It's a dangerous move.
He's looking there, is he? No, he's not.
That leaves the bull.
47.
Maybe should have gone for the 25.
25.
Well, this leg is very much in the balance, and Šmolík, the favourite. Šmolík, another leg on the scoreboard, and the Šmolík backers in the crowd, and there's a handful of them. Further reassurance.
140.
I think he's kind of surprised that he has got some support in the crowd. Sharing a smile with him there, the man from Czechia.
45.
It was a mixed bag for the other debutants in action earlier today. Damien Moll, a winner against Jeff Smith, coming from 4-0 down and 5-2 down in that one, and defeat, however, for Sven Hilling against Keane Barry.
And not as crushing a defeat as Kim Hybrex has just suffered on his home stage.
50.
Are things just starting to unravel a little bit after looking so solid and dependable for the opening 3 legs of this Šmolík? He's just had a couple of poor visits, and he needs to put them to the back of his mind, because even if he loses this leg convincingly, he just needs to get back into that reliable rhythm.
Well, he could do with some of that papal intervention that spectator was trying to offer, because this one is
100.
looking like a lost cause, albeit on the Dobey throw. This to level things up at 2 apiece. Potential 11-darter, maybe a 12-darter incoming here for Chris Dobey.
56.
Should start on the 19s. He's not. I think we're learning a little bit more about Dalibor. Evidently a fan of double 12, evidently slow and methodical. Not quite sure he's A+ on his darts mathematics.
30.
This weekend, though, for Dobey, another illustration of the demands on his time and his energy as well, I suppose, given this Thursday night weekend routine that he's found himself in.
Not really heard Chris complain about it too much, to be fair to him.
He did say he was a little bit tired, and that's understandable.
Ooh, doesn't like that one. Might complain about that one.
No score.
Well, Šmolík keeps chipping away, and if Dobey misses inside on double 5 next time, then it might be interesting.
Was on the 11 darter in this leg, Chris Dobey. Left 96 after 9, but he's thrown another 9 darts since then. And he's still
44.
mucking about on double 5.
10.
Yeah, Šmolík mucking about with a 44 there as well to get down to 145. And Dobey puts him out of his misery in this particular leg, and we are level again at 2 apiece. 4 holes of throw so far. No way through for either player. Dobey, you're right, I think he'll be massively frustrated that it took him so long to wrap that one up. 19 darts in the end.
Well, it's going to be even more frustrating for Dobey if Šmolík has just had a leg of doing absolutely nothing.
140.
Kicks off ton 40 like that, because Šmolík knows if he keeps holding his throw, he wins this game. And he's been good enough to do it a couple of times already.
Yeah, 15 darter and a 17 darter. So winning his 2 legs in 32 darts. Likewise, Dobey winning his 2 legs in 32 darts. But there's a good 9 points or so between them in the averages.
59.
And
58.
Šmolík's finishing 2 from 3 so far suggests that if he does get into a position first, then he is going to give himself every chance.
Well, the only dart he's missed at double was one narrowly missing the bullseye for that 9 to check out.
42.
Not heard that chant in ages.
100.
Go and join in if you want. Wants to stay on the 20s and clatters into that first dart, which is a blocker. Now he decides to move.
60.
Still can't find it. This is a chance for Dobey.
Yeah, chance to get down to a finish first on the Šmolík throw, and this would set up the opportunity for the first break of the match and then some. Dobey rattles in the third 180 of the match and moves himself into position now with 67 the target. And this could be the first pivotal moment in the match.
41.
Oh, on a finish after 2 darts and not on a finish after 3. For a 14 darter and to lead for the first time in this game.
51.
Saw Gary Anderson put in an incredible scoring display that was dragged down to just being a good display
59.
by his finishing.
Yeah, 14.
Chris Dobey's threatening to do something similar here.
Yeah, Anderson 14 missed darts at a double. Dobey heading that way, and again, I think relieved that he's managed to finish that one off with Šmolík this time down to a finish.
Well, he's managed to get his nose in front. Can Dobey now stretch his legs?
34.
He'd never seen Dalibor Šmolík before in his life, Chris Dobey. He was sat in the players' room, and big Dalibor sort of signalled to him. And Dobey's
60.
gone over there thinking he wants him to sign a shirt or have a photo or something like that. And he says, you, me. Yeah, we'll have a photo. No, we play later. Oh, right. Wasn't wearing his dart shirt at the time.
100.
And after the first 3 legs of this, when Dalibor is ticking along at a very reliable mid to high 90s average, he must have been wishing he only wanted a photo. But Dalibor has faded a little bit since then.
Well, that sort of incident could have been enough to fire Dalibor up a little bit, actually.
I don't think he was aware that that was the case.
Yeah, I think for Dobey it is all about just coming through and then just a bit of rest and recovery and get himself ready for tomorrow. If he does come through this one, it's still not an absolute guarantee, even though he's in a good position now with that break. But
85.
yeah, Šmolík has lost his weight, scoring-wise.
Look, Šmolík has shown enough to suggest that he's got enough good stuff in him to pick up more legs in this game. He's got to take this seriously, Chris Dobey, but he's got in front now, and Dalibor has faded a little. Is there a second wind for the big Czech?
$81. Chris, you require 96.
135 for Šmolík if he returns. Dobey looking at a potential 15-darter now.
Went double-double.
Yeah.
56. Dalibor, you require 135.
I thought he probably had the leeway to do so. But Šmolík for the break, 135.
Oh, drags it low.
Yeah, into
The
three.
Disappeared immediately. It's a shame, because if he got to 25, he would have had a dart at bull there.
83. Chris, you require 40.
So for daylight. Yeah, Chris Dobey taking control of this game now. 4-2, 3 legs on the spin.
To throw first. Game on.
Yeah, 19-darter, 16-darter, 17-darter in securing those last 3 legs
58.
against different opposition. Probably wouldn't have got away with that. Maybe wouldn't have got away with that.
Now, you've already mentioned it's Josh Rock
96.
who will take on the winner, but it's in the same section of the draw as the defending champion Dave Chisnall, who's up against Ricky Evans, who's just put in a brilliant display to beat Hybrex. It's the same quarter as the draw as the 2 highest ranked players in the tournament, Michael Smith, the world number 1, and Peter Wright,
96.
the world number 2. But you've also got the German number 1, Gabriel Clemens, in there, and one of Dimitri Van den Berg and Ian White will go through to that section of the draw in the second round.
100.
So there's a lot of big name players in there. You've got 4 Premier League players in there as things stand, and a former Premier League player in Dave Chisnall, Josh Rock, who is touted to be a Premier League player at some point in future, and Gabriel Clemens, who was
60.
perhaps 1 win away at the World Championship from forcing his way into that particular tournament.
And 2 of those players should be fairly fresh tomorrow, because Clemens and Evans both winning 6-0, although Evans was dripping in sweat when he walked off the stage.
Yeah, not the sort of conditions where you want to be wearing a traffic cone on your head if you're looking to keep cool. But darts fans are not always known for the wisest sartorial choices.
And neither are darts players, because Evans, after all, did walk onto the stage wearing a woolly hat himself, didn't he? So
Ricky Evans gonna Ricky Evans.
$64.
yeah, Dalibor just taking a moment there, just assessing this situation. He fears the worst and fears that he could well go 5-2 down imminently.
Anyway, he's not had a dart at double since that 3rd leg, which is the last one he won.
59.
Yeah, his scoring doesn't look like it's going to afford him many more opportunities unless Dobey starts having more legs where he misses handfuls.
56.
Better. A lot better. Over to the 13s. Oh.
139, because you got 54.
That would have been an interesting leave.
He's on the
Doesn't matter anyway.
No, and I would have been interested to see which way he would have gone there. I mean, he talked about the double 12, whether he would have left it gone for 20 double 12 or not on the 44. Or
well, I'm just astonished that he's trying to go treble 19 to lead
100.
double 3, but you do you, Dalibor. 177 to leave 6 is I assume, a mathematical error. We did see him make an error earlier on. It may be that a lot of the players from
100.
that part of the world, the Czech Republic, may be a soft tip player, and he's used to the counting being done for him. There's no sign of it very early on in the game, but then
42.
everything was going according to plan. He was just going ton 40 all the way down.
yeah, and his scoring was almost making the decision for him. But as this match has progressed, yeah, questions
100.
have been asked of Dalibor Šmolík, and he's not really been able to come up with the answers. That said, he might well finish up with checkout figures of 66%, which is something to
38.
cling to and work with moving forward. He'll say, look, when I had the opportunities, I wasn't missing much.
Yes, I mean, that is something. And look, he's got a couple of legs on his Euro Tour debut. He may get more, because that gets him to a finish. I think there's people still processing the Kim Huybrechts whitewash defeat in the crowd here at the October Halle.
Touch of PTSD about that one.
161.
Well, this would be a showstopper, and it's not to be.
Oh, no. Well, he's given that a couple of
21.
looks as Dalibor.
Well, I'm expecting the 21 there to be backed up by a 140 checkout. Dobey looking to fill it up and put himself in position in case Dalibor does not take out this 140.
140.
And it might be curtains if he doesn't. And it isn't going to happen. Chris Dobey should get a match start minimum at the bullseye.
44. Chris should require 84.
Well, he was 2-1 down, Chris Dobey. That's 79 away, Chris. He's doing it the hard way once again. Well, he
44.
hasn't taken his opportunity, and Šmolík looking at 96 now for what seems, or did seem, a very unlikely break of throw.
Did he go double-double? Yeah, he went for it. It's only the second dart at double he's missed in the game.
40.
But Chris Dobey to wrap it up,
40.
to make it 5 legs on the spin, a 6-2 victory, and set up a meeting with Josh Rock tomorrow. Double 10. Double 5. And
35.
still he waits.
Dalibor, you require 56.
Should get 2 darts at the double, and does. Double 20. Dalibor Šmolík gets a 3rd leg, and once again, when he's in position, that's 3 from 4 now for Dalibor Šmolík.
Well, there's one of those legs we said. It might take Dobey to miss handfuls of darts. He did miss a handful for the match, and it's a break of throw. But Šmolík's scoring is going to have to improve, because that cannot be his game plan. Cannot rely on a reigning major champion to keep on missing match start after match start after match start.
37.
Yeah, that missed dart at the double when he was going for the double-double doesn't count. So it is 3 from 4. And it keeps himself going. And Dobey there, just a little warning sign, shall we say. I don't think he'll be panicking just yet. But if Šmolík rediscovers his shooting boots all of a sudden, and he's got the first 2 in the target,
139.
then the next leg could be very, very interesting indeed.
140.
Now then, Dalibor, where are you looking? Could go to the bullseye. 25 leaves 160. Okay,
58.
that's fine. I mean, Dobey's going to have to find a brilliant visit, get down any finish at all.
Yeah, that time you could see he had a good think about it.
140. Medical Europe 167.
Counting was okay. Just felt he needed at least one treble there just to give himself the best possible chance, even though Dobey's still not down to a finish before this visit.
58.
Well, the doubles haven't been much of a problem. The trebles have been for Šmolík. If this first one sails in the treble, it'd be no surprise to see him take out the biggest finish of the game so far. But he needs treble 17 now. And it is the trebles that are proving his undoing. Chris Dobey will get another chance to close out the match.
91.
Yeah, Šmolík once again hoping that Dobey fluffs his lines, this time looking at Shanghai on the 20s. That's the easy bit. The treble is elusive once again.
100.
3 darts in hand looking at double A. You think this is 5-4? Been the best part of his game.
Never looked convincing, did he? Once he missed that first attempt at double 8, you never really felt totally comfortable with the idea that he would finish things off. As it is, Chris Dobey is looking to finish things off now. And I think Chris Dobey will be glad that that one is over, in all honesty, because it could have been very, very interesting.